Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope we all had a good, nourishing, relaxing weekend and you are ready to start the new week. It's Ramadan this week, which is absolutely crazy. I can't believe how fast it's come around. But that means we've got these last few days to prepare our minds, to prepare our bodies, and get ourselves into a good routine for the rest of the month. So last week, we were looking at the first limb of the yoga path, which is how we treat other people. The second limb, which is what we're going to explore this week, is called the niyamas, and that is how we treat ourselves. So this is all about how we should behave and the inner work that we have to do to make that behavior better, basically. So the first niyama that we will be looking through today, that today's class is going to be themed on, is saucha, which basically means cleanliness or purity. Obviously, cleanliness is something that we understand very well as Muslims. Cleanliness is half of the faith. It's one of the hadiths. Wudu and physical cleanliness are a big part of our spiritual practice. But it's also worth noting that the physical cleanliness actually helps with the spiritual purity too. So they're definitely connected. How we keep our body and how we keep our soul and our mind pure is all part of the same package. So one way that we can cleanse our body with movement is by twisting. So twisting the body creates this it's called a squeeze and soak action, which basically stimulates the organs, improves circulation, and helps the lymphatic system drain out waste. So when you squeeze everything, you stop the circulation, and then when you release it, a lot of blood flows to that spot. So it's really good at just giving your organs and all of your muscles that boost of energy that they need, and just clear out any sort of toxins or impurities that we have in the body. So we are going to work on our spinal mobility today. Obviously, having a straight spine and good posture helps with the flow of the breath and the flow of the energy through the body. So by practicing these poses, we will hopefully release any stagnant energy, clear out the body, clear out the emotions. So we'll come into a comfortable seat. I'm going to guide you through a cleansing form of breath work to start the practice this morning. So if you are someone who has very high blood pressure, if you're pregnant, or if you have any sort of problems with your heart, I would avoid practicing this one intensely. You can just stick to breathing through the stomach and focusing on expanding your diaphragm. But this breathwork practice, this is called skull shining breath. So we are going to be practicing really short bursts of exhales, and then the inhale will just come naturally. So our lungs work on a pressure system. So if we forcefully exhale everything out of our lungs, they will naturally start to bring the oxygen in. We don't have to forcefully inhale that oxygen afterwards. So as we go through this breath work, just noticing how the body feels after you let go of that exhale, how the body feels as it lets the oxygen back in. So placing your hands on your knees, having a very nice straight spine, closing down the eyes, and just arriving on the mat this morning. And just noticing any thoughts arising. Notice how they scatter around the brain. And just bring the attention instead to your breath. And just start to elongate your inhales, elongate your exhales. Slowing everything down. And then on your next big inhale, for the exhale, I want you to imagine you're blowing a piece of dust off of a surface. So when you go really intense breath out, but I want it to come from your nose. So that action, close your mouth, straight out your nose. And as you do that, you're going to suction your stomach to the back of your spine. So, and you can imagine it's a forceful exhale of air. So doing this together one at a time, we'll take a deep inhale, forceful exhale, and then just let the breath flow back in naturally. And once you've got full lungs with the inhale, we take another forceful exhale. And then take a deep breath in. Okay, so we're going to try and do 2 of those breaths at the same time now. So take a deep breath, inhale, 2 forceful exhales. Take a deep inhale, 2 forceful exhales. Now, if this feels good, we can start to increase the number. If you feel any sort of lightheadedness or dizziness, then just keep the breath slower and don't go as intensely into your exhales, and keep it at 2. Don't go above 2. But if you're feeling good, we're going to increase it to 3 exhales. So inhaling, inhaling, okay, now we're going to go all the way up to 5 short, hard exhales. So deep inhale, deep inhale, good, okay. Opening the eyes, coming back into the body, we'll start to introduce some movement to the shoulders. So inhaling to bring the shoulders up to the ears, exhaling to send them back. Inhaling up and exhaling back, and then inhale to reverse the movement. So bring your shoulders forward and back. Good. And then taking your right hand onto your left knee, inhaling the left arm up overhead, and then exhale to bring the hand behind you, twisting over the left shoulder. Inhale the left arm back up, bring it onto your right knee, lift up the right arm as you inhale, exhale to switch sides and gaze over your right shoulder. Then inhale to come all the way back to center, bringing the hands up overhead, pushing the palms away from you. And then exhale to bring the palms in front of your face, pushing them away. Inhale, bring your arms back up. Exhale, drop the palms in front of your face, push around through the spine. One more, inhaling up and exhaling down. Good. And then coming over into a child's pose. So taking the knees further apart than the hips, big toes come to touch. Bring your right hand down in the middle of the mat, and then inhale as you lift your left arm up to the sky. Exhale to sweep that shoulder under, and then bring the left hand side of your face down to the mat. As you do this movement, really think about pushing back with your hips. So don't let your hips come too much off your feet. Really send the hips back. Try and push everything down to the floor. Inhale to bring your left hand back next to the right. And then this time we'll bring the left hand into the center. Inhale to lift up your right arm. And exhale, sweep it under. Plant the right hand side of the face onto the floor. And remember, sending those hips back as we breathe here. And then inhaling to come back into our child's pose. This time, bring your knees together and bring your hands behind you, interlacing the fingers, and then pull the palms away from you. Maybe you can bring your forehead down to the mat. And then inhale to bring yourself up. And then we're going to come into a plank. So taking your hands shoulder width distance apart, you're down on your knees, and then tuck the toes and lift yourself up. Now, if this is still too intense, you can come down onto the knees and just lift the feet up. But make sure you're really pushing the ground away from you, and you can feel the weight is in your shoulders here. And then if you are on your knees, come up onto a plank, and we're going to bring in the right knee to the left elbow as you exhale. Inhale to push the foot back. Exhale to bring left knee to right elbow. Send it back. Inhale to bring right knee to left elbow. Exhale, push it back. And then inhale to bring your left knee to your right elbow. And push it back. Now drop the knees, and we're going to take some side plank variations here. So coming onto the shin of your left foot, extend the right leg out to the side, and then bring the right arm up overhead. And we're going to take some twists here. So bringing the right arm, as you exhale, sweep it under this gap here and point it to the other side of the room. Inhale to come up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale to come up. Then plant that hand on the mat, and we'll come onto the other side. So your right knee comes down, the foot turns out to the side, extend the left leg down towards the back of the mat, and then reach your left arm up overhead. Exhale to bring the left arm through that gap towards the back of the room. Inhale up. Exhale, drop that hand, sweep it through. Inhale up. And last one, dropping that hand through. Okay, and then dropping the left hand back next to the right hand, bringing your knees down, tuck the toes, and you can either send yourself back into a child's pose, or we're coming into our first down dog. So whichever is more comfortable for you, taking that position. And maybe if you're in your first down dog, just feeling into the hamstrings, feeling into the hips, bending into those knees. And then if you are in your child's pose, then come up into your down dog, and we're going to take a twisting variation here. So taking your feet as wide as the mat, your right hand is going to come into the middle of the mat, ground down through that hand, and then see if you can reach back with your left. So if your left hand can come onto your shin, to your knee, to your ankle. And once you've grabbed that leg, you're going to exhale to pull your face towards your right armpit. So this is a very deep twist here. We're only taking it as far as we can. Inhale to come back. Bring the left hand into the middle of the mat this time. Now your right hand is going to come to your left shin, And you're going to pull yourself under towards your left armpit. Make sure you're pushing the ground away with that left arm. And then coming back to your down dog. So from here, inhale to bring the right leg through in between your hands. So we're coming into our low lunge now. You can bring your hands wherever they're going to rest. So I'm going to show you how to use the blocks here for now. You can use blocks to just bring the floor closer to you. So you can either have that back foot tucked if you want a bit more of a stretch in the left hip, or you can release it. And then we're going to sink a little bit more. So the hands can come to blocks or books. We're keeping the spine nice and long. And then inhaling the arms up, exhaling, twisting to the right hand side. So you're twisting towards the bent knee. Your arms are in a T, and if you can gaze towards that right hand. If this feels good, you might be able to drop the right hand and lift the left arm up overhead. So we're in a reversed twist. Inhale, bring the arms back up to the center. Exhale, twist to the left. Exhale to drop the left hand down towards the floor. Right arm comes up overhead. You might just be hovering. That's also absolutely fine. Inhale to come back to center. Hands come down to the blocks or to the floor. And then exhale, send your hip all the way back. Flex that front foot. So we're just engaging this front leg, straightening across the hamstring. Rather than bending and folding, this time we're keeping our torso nice and tall and really straightening this leg, pushing down through that leg. If you feel stable here, you might be able to plant that left hand and then reach the right arm up overhead, coming into a twist. So it's a bit easier if you have a block to raise your torso. Exhale, drop the hand. Bend into that front knee, tuck the back toes. Inhale to lift that knee and come into your high lunge. Exhale to drop your left hand, lift the right arm up. So we're in this twist here. Good. And then bring the hand to the outside of the foot. Remember, you can also come up onto a block here just to create a bit more space. And then twist to the other direction. So we're twisting towards the left. The left arm is up towards the sky. Exhale to bring both hands back down to the mat. And then we're going to step this right foot all the way back into our down dog. So push the ground away from you and then come back into our down dog. Taking a nice deep breath here. And then inhaling to bring the left leg through this time, dropping the right knee down to the mat. Bringing your props if you need them again this time. Remember that back foot can be tucked or untucked, whichever feels more comfortable. Chest is nice and lifted, and we come back to our breath. Inhale to lift both arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the left. Big deep inhale, and then as you exhale, drop the left hand down to the knee. Right arm comes up overhead. Inhale, both arms back up to center, and exhale, twisting open to the right this time. So your arms are in this T. You can either gaze forward or test yourself a little bit more and your balance by gazing backwards. Big deep inhale, exhale, drop the right hand down to the knee, left arm comes up overhead. You can gaze up at the hand or you can gaze down at the mat, whichever is more comfortable for you this morning. Then inhale, we're coming all the way back up to center. And then planting the hands on your blocks, if you have them, or on the mat, sending the hips back, straightening that left leg, pointing the toes all the way up to the sky. So your hands are by your foot, or you can bring them a little bit closer to you so you can lift your torso up a little bit more. We're not folding this time, we're keeping ourselves nice and straight. And then if this feels stable for you, you can ground down through that right hand, lift the left arm all the way up. And we're twisting open. Exhale to drop your hands. You can bring the blocks towards your foot if you have them. And then we're bending through the left knee. Inhale, tuck the back toes, lift up into our high lunge. Really engaging through this back right leg, pulling it up, but keeping a nice deep bend in the front knee. Exhale and twist to the left. And then as you breathe out, drop your right hand down to the floor, left arm comes up overhead. Gaze up at the left fingers. And then exhale, drop the left hand to the outside of the left foot and then twist to the other direction. You can also have your block here just to create a little bit more space. And then as you exhale, drop both hands down to the mat, plant the hands, and step yourself back into your child's pose. So just taking some nice, big, deep cleansing breaths here. You might want to sigh out through the mouth. As we purify our body with these twists. So walking the hands back towards the knees, bringing the knees together. Your right hand, comes onto the left knee and then twist towards the left. You might want to raise the right arm and sweep it backwards as you twist. Exhale to drop the right hand. Bring the left arm to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you, twisting over the right shoulder. Maybe bringing up that left arm again. Exhale to drop the hand. This time just swing it all the way back and then lift the right arm. Inhale. Exhale, drop your hand, sweep it across. Bring it behind you, lifting the left arm. Deep inhale. Exhale to drop the left hand, sweep the right arm across. Inhale to lift the chest open. Exhale to drop, sweep across. Inhale to open. And now we're going to exaggerate the movement. So as you bring your hands down, come up off the bottom of your knees and push your hips forward as you send the right arm back. So exhale to drop, sweep forward. Inhale to push forward, sweep the arm back. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. Inhale, push the hips, send the arm back. A couple more like this. Inhale to push your hips forward. Exhale, coming down. Inhale into your camel. Now, if this feels comfortable for you, you might be able to release that right hand, or you can just stay like this. And then exhale to drop the hips. Hands come down to the knees. Nice deep breath here. Just assessing how the body feels throughout this class, how the heart rate feels. Letting that heart rate come back to normal as we just focus on the breath. Good. And then coming up to standing, we're going to take a twisted chair pose now. So bringing your feet together, you can have them hip width distance apart if having your toes to touch is too uncomfortable. So just play about with your foot positioning. The weight needs to be in your heels. So when you're in this position, you should be able to lift your toes up because all the weight is going to be in your heels. Exhale to send your hips backwards and squat yourself down. And then inhale to lift up the arms. If you get this bend in your back, really try and suction your stomach towards your spine. So we're breathing here, and then on your next exhale, bring the hands together and bring your left elbow to the outer edge of your right knee. So maybe we can gaze up at our right shoulder, our right elbow. Maybe if this feels really stable, we can drop that left hand and then extend the right arm. Good. Exhale to drop the right hand and the left are together. We're folding over our legs. Deep exhale here. And then inhale to come back to your chair. So hands come back up to the sky. We're squatting. And then exhale, bring your hands together. The right elbow comes to the left knee. We're twisting over, looking up at that left shoulder. And then if this is stable again, extending that right arm down to the sky, lifting the chest up as the left arm goes up. Exhale to drop both hands down, and then we're folding over our feet. You can use blocks here to bring the ground closer to you. And then as you inhale, straighten the back, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, drop over your knees again. Inhale, straighten the back. And exhale, fold. Good. And then coming into your squat, just lowering yourself all the way down. Nice and slowly. Extending the legs out in front of you. We're going to take our right knee into our chest. You might be able to bring the foot to the outer edge of the left thigh. So wherever the foot is, we're taking the left arm, hooking it around the knee and twisting towards the right. Inhaling to come back to face your feet. Drop that foot out to the side so the knee comes down to the floor. If you've got your blocks, you can bring your hands there and just slowly start to soften over that left thigh. Inhale to walk the hands back to the body. This time taking your right hand behind you, fingers are facing away. You're going to push your hips up to the sky and ground down into the shin of your right leg. So pushing the hips up, they come forward, and then the left arm comes up overhead. Exhale to sink. And then we'll switch sides. So extending the right leg, the left knee comes into the body. Again, you can bring that foot onto the outer edge of the right thigh. And then inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to bring that right elbow onto the outer edge of the left knee, twisting towards the left. And inhaling to come back to center. Exhale as you drop that knee out to the left-hand side. Inhaling to lengthen the spine. Exhaling to fold over that right leg. Try and keep this right foot flexed with your toes up to the sky just to protect your hamstring as much as possible. Inhaling to walk yourself all the way back up to seated, and then drop your left hand behind you with your fingers facing away. Inhale to push your hips up, grounding into that left shin and into the right foot, and then exhale your arm all the way overhead. Take a deep breath in here, and then exhale to sink your hips back down. Bring the soles of your feet together, pulling them in towards your body, taking your hands, interlacing the fingers, and then just hooking them underneath your toes so that you can use your thumbs to pull the big toes apart. And then the knees will come down. Keep a nice straight spine here, and just come back to the breath. And really pushing the ground away with your sit bones. And then maybe pushing the feet away from you. And then rounding through the spine, trying to bring your forehead as close to your feet as possible. If you have blocks, you can bring your feet onto the blocks, just to bring your feet a little bit closer to your head. So grabbing onto the toes, really pull your forehead down, round through the spine. Inhale to come all the way back up to seated. You can remove the block if it's under your feet. Put all of the props to the side and come all the way down onto your back. So lowering yourself slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Keeping the feet bent and the feet on the floor. Just take your feet as wide as the mat will go and just knock your knees to the sides. And then bringing both knees into the center, bring your arms in between your knees and then grab outside of the foot. So your arms are in your knees, but they're grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Flex those feet so your heels are pointed up to the sky, and then try and pull your knees in towards your armpits. So this is called happy baby pose, and it's really, really good for releasing the lower back. So if you want to just massage that by rocking gently from side to side, just close down the eyes, release everything to the mat. And then bringing the soles of your feet to touch, just pulling your forehead up as much as you can towards your feet. And then exhale to lower the feet all the way down to the mat. You can keep the soles of your feet together, or you can extend the legs out towards the back of the room. Your hands can come down to the sides with the palms facing up. As we come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So this is a great pose for integrating everything that your body has just done. And I will invite you to stay in this comfortable position for the next few minutes as I guide you through a meditation for Saucha, or purity. So taking a gentle body scan, just noticing how everything feels, noticing how the mind feels, and just seeing what thoughts arise in the mind. Notice how scattered they are. And just one by one, taking those scattered thoughts and collecting them together. And as you gather these scattered thoughts, imagine washing them away with water. As we make our wudu, imagine just washing the water up your arms. And every time you do that, you wash away a thought. You wash away something that has to be done, something that is taking over your mind. And as we do this, we can call on Al-Qudus, the holy, the pure, to help cleanse our lives, to help cleanse us of any sins that we have going into the month of Ramadan, to forgive us, to help cleanse our minds of any thoughts that are hindering us from our connection to Allah, to cleanse our daily behaviors from any actions that are taking us away from Allah. And just slowly starting to introduce some movement back into your fingers, back into your toes. Bringing your arms all the way up overhead, giving yourself a nice big stretch. You can bring the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a squeeze, whichever feels more comfortable. And then slowly coming back up into a comfortable seated position. You can keep the eyes closed to maintain this state of introspection, or you can start to gently introduce your senses back into the room. So to end the class today, I will read out a verse from the Quran just to reflect on as we go about our days. Okay, today's is striving for Allah. So the verse is, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways." Consider the promise and encouragement in these words, emphasizing divine guidance for those who strive in the path of Allah. How does this verse inspire perseverance and dedication in your spiritual journey? So as we go into the month of Ramadan, as we start to improve our actions, our behaviors, our deeds, just thinking about Saucha today. So how we can purify our thoughts, our actions, our words to be better Muslims. So thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow we will be doing another behavioral based yoga class, focusing more on gratitude and contentment. So inshallah, I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Please let family and friends know about this class, send them the link, share it with anyone you know. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good rest of your day, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.